Welcome to Spectrum Perspectives, real talk with parents, professionals, and autism advocates, with your host, Cindy Gellermini.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Spectrum Perspectives. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Eileen Lamb, and she has a blog called Autism Cafe. The reason I wanted to interview her is because when I started getting on these Facebook pages for autism, I started seeing this. It was like Hatfields and McCoys, like the fighting that's going on in the autism community, which is crazy. It's adults with autism versus moms of autistic kids. And these adults with autism are attacking these moms that have autistic kids. But more specifically, they're really picking on Eileen, which is odd because Eileen is not only the mom of an autistic kid, she's also an adult with autism. So she's fits both sides of the bill here, but yet they're really attacking her a lot because she's got a voice. So I wanted to interview her today just to hear her perspective of what's going on. So then when did you begin your blog?
A little while after Charlie was diagnosed to, first of all, because I wanted to keep my family and friends informed, on Charlie's autism and, family, friends, all of that.
Yeah, you're from France, correct?
Yeah. I'm
so you
from
have family in France?
Yeah, my mom, my dad, everyone is still in France. I came here when I was 21, so I really born and raised in France. And that was it. And then I started writing more because I wanted to connect with other parents. Because I felt that I couldn't meet people who really get it, like in real life. And often even parents of autistic children, I couldn't relate with them because their children were higher functioning and they didn't understand Charlie's struggles. And so it made me feel even more alone to be around people who were supposed to get it, but they didn't, just because, Charlie was so severe and, their kid was still interacting and talking, and of course they still struggle. I know it's, I have autism too, but it's different. And it was really good for me to have that space to connect with other people.
Yeah. When I started doing my YouTube channel, people would inbox me and send me messages, and they would come from other states, and they would say, oh, we thought we were the only one, and when we see Robbie, he's so much like my son, and that's when you realize that, people need to connect. And you feel very alone and very isolated too, when your child is very different. And Robbie went to a school for autistic kids, but they were bused from all over the state. And I never met any of the other parents, so I didn't know anybody. So even though he was in a school with other kids that were all severe like him, I never met the parents. I never had any friends from there. When you compare him to my other son that played sports, you meet the parents at the soccer game and at the baseball and, things like that. So it's very different.
It is.
And then it's not like I can talk to those moms about Robbie because they don't get it, because they don't live it.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think moms turn to these Facebook pages, because they're looking for a community and people they can talk to and people that they can relate to.
For sure.
Yeah. But I was really surprised to see what was going on with, first of all, to see people calling ABA therapy abuse, because that's what they used to teach my son. I was like, what are you talking about? And a big issue with, I posted something about Autism Speaks once, and then you get a bunch of people that jump on there, we in the autistic community don't like Autism Speaks. And now it's to the point where you can't use a puzzle piece, as a symbol because it represents Autism Speaks. And what else? And even just being preferred to be called autistic rather than someone with autism. Yeah. But someone else, I had somebody running my Instagram page, and she posted on, she was clueless. She had no idea. And I guess she just must have did a search for autism, and she made a comment on somebody's page, and she did hashtag autism mom, and they lashed out at her. We would prefer if mothers didn't use our diagnosis for their identity.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've
come
heard
on.
that.
It's like every single thing that you say is wrong.
I know it's ridiculous. I'm fighting against that because first of all, they don't speak for the entire autistic community.
Mhm.
Second of all, a lot of them are not even diagnosed professionally. They're just using autism as an identity and like a weapon to, I don't know, go on a power trip online. That's how I see it.
Mhm.
And it's not fair because they don't understand that even if they are indeed autistic, their experience of autism is nothing like the experience of our children for the most
Right.
part,
Right.
and they need to get that into their head. And yeah, you know what, some autistic people like the puzzle piece and Autism Speaks and ABA, and those voices matter too. And insulting people you disagree with is never going to make a difference. It's not going to make people listen to you, first of all. um, so yeah, I hate that part of the autism community. I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, they really come after you, I guess, because you have a platform, they feel like, I think sometimes people hide behind their computer and they just in general on social media say nasty things about anybody who's a celebrity or whatever. And they think that their words are just not going to affect anyone and they're invisible. It's like they think of celebrities as not real people almost. And I can say whatever nasty thing that I want about them. And it's not true. They do see,
Yeah,
they are affected by it.
they forget the human behind
Yeah.
the screen. And honestly, like, it's funny just because I have a pretty big platform, but I'm like everybody else. I don't feel like celebrity at all. I just feel like a mom doing the best for a kid who like posts on Instagram sometimes.
Right.
And it just baffles me how nasty these people can be, the things they can say. Like, I hope that they wouldn't say that to someone's face, but I don't know, but I've heard, abusing my kids, that they should be taken away because they're in ABA. I've been insulted, like sexual harassment comments. It's just, yeah, every time I post something, I'm a horrible mother, basically. If I don't agree with those things we talk about, like the terminology, the symbols, and they say that I have self-internalized ableism because I don't agree with them. So basically, ableism is, discrimination against disabled people. So they say that I'm self-hating, that I hate myself because I disagree with them. So that's their justification. It's like, oh yeah, but the reason you don't agree with us is because you hate yourself. There's no winning. Like,
Right.
they say listen to autistic people, and then when autistic people disagree with them, they say that it's because they're self-hating.
Right.
They hate themselves.
They have an answer for everything, I guess.
Oh yeah, but it's always the same thing. It's like I make the answer like in my head before the answer. Sometimes I make a game out of it with my husband. I'm like, I know what they're gonna say to that, and it's the same thing. It's like,
do you know where it originates from? Did somebody kind of start this movement?
I don't know, but it's getting worse and worse. I mean,
Yeah.
they were around 5 years ago. Not as much. It's insane now. There is a group called Autism Inclusivity, which, funny enough, is not inclusive at all. Like, you're not allowed to talk about ABA. You're not allowed to use functioning labels. You're not allowed to mention Autism Speaks, the puzzle piece. So very inclusive, as you can see.
And this is really upsetting for the new moms because they will ask questions, because the first thing the doctor tells them is put your child in ABA therapy. So they'll go on these pages, they join these pages and ask one question about ABA therapy, and they immediately get pounced on.
Yeah.
I know.
It's not helpful.
And there's a bunch of people that believe that vaccines cause their child autism too. And they will tell you up front on these pages, you're not allowed to talk about vaccines. You can't mention this, you can't mention this, because it starts arguments. Yeah. And I've been warning people, this is as bad as Democrats versus Republicans. This is just, it's like a political war going on, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's not healthy.
It's upsetting to me. So when I wrote my books, here, look, I'm going to show you my book. There's my little penguin. There's my little Robbie. So cute. So as I was writing them, there's 3 of them. I realized that the books would be good for teachers to read in school, because schools are big on inclusion now, right? So the autistic kids will be in public schools. And I thought, if the teachers would read this to the other children and teach them about autism, the kids will fall in love with this little Robbie the penguin. And then if they have, like, say your son Charlie comes into school and he wants to stim or do something, and he's doing his autistic behavior, instead of the kids thinking, oh, he's so weird, they'll say, oh, okay, he's just like Robbie the penguin. I get it.
No.
And in my head, I'm thinking this will cut back on bullying. I'm worrying about autistic kids being bullied in school, right? I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen that often, but I know it does when they're not educated. Okay, when the kids don't know. So I'm really surprised to see that autistic people being the bulliers, doing the bullying. And it's just so backwards to me. And I'm like, no, we're all on the same team. We're all supposed to be playing nice together in the sandbox, and they're not doing that.
No, it's really frustrating. And it's weird that they can somehow justify the bullying. Like nothing justifies it. I don't know why you would put anyone through that. Especially, like you said, as autistic people, a lot of us have been through bullying. And why would we want anyone to feel that way?
Right. Exactly.
It's weird.
Did I not realize that they're being bullies? I don't know. I mean, I've interviewed some of the moms where their kids can get very angry. They destroy the house. They're violent. They swear a lot. They, which to me is like just very violent out of their mouth. I've seen kids that just say, I hate you, I'm going to kill you, I want to stab you, and it's a behavior. It's a behavior that comes out, and I'm curious to know if it's like, let's say it's a Facebook page being run by someone who's putting this stuff out there, that ABA is abuse and all this kind of stuff. And then when autistic people read it, it's triggering them and making them violent and angry and having these angry, nasty outbursts, but you're the brunt of it.
Yeah.
You're the punching bag.
Definitely.
And why is it you? I don't know, and
because I don't shut up. I mean, a lot of people, that's the sad thing too, is that they've bullied a lot of people into silence. Yeah. Because they become too afraid of saying anything because they don't want to be attacked. And I don't blame them, because this is so draining, and I decided last year that I was done, like, watching my words and trying to, walk on eggshell, whatever the expression is.
Yes, that's it.
To not upset them,
Right.
And now I speak up, I speak my mind, and I don't care if they don't like it. Like, I'm not gonna quiet myself just to please them, because my voice matters. I'm not being disrespectful to anyone, and that's all that matters. I'm speaking my truth, and I'm only speaking about my experience as an autistic person of an autistic child, and that's it. If they don't like it and they want to insult me, I mean, I'm not the one who's gonna look bad, Yeah.
I was on the Today Show April 2nd for World Autism Awareness Day for my books. And they did this beautiful story for a whole 5-minute long segment about me. And they showed pictures and videos of my son, and they showed the books and everything. And then when they were editing it, and before it went on air, that's when I started seeing all the stuff that was going on online. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh no, did I say something wrong? Did I use the wrong word? Am I gonna get bullied now? Are they gonna, are they gonna attack me now because I said the wrong thing, because I said he had autism? Or, I remember the first thing I said one time many years ago, I said normal, and they said, no, it's not normal, it's typical. You're supposed to say typical. I'm like,
Right.
Oh, okay, that's the politically correct word to use now. Now it's neurotypical. You have to be a neurotypical. That was just my first taste of, oh, watch what you say, make sure you say the right word, but since there's so many new things now that are offensive,
it's hard to keep up. Yeah.
I feel like I have to keep going on these pages just to stay up to date of what's the correct word to say and not say. But I do kind of feel like you. It's like, look, I put out my experience, and it was the same thing when I started my YouTube channel. I allowed comments in the beginning, and like a man came on there and said the most hateful stuff to me, like just called me all kinds of names and told me I should stop having children, stop reproducing, bleep, bleep, bleep children, whatever. And it was so awful. that I just blocked all comments. I was like, no, nobody's allowed to comment on my videos at all. If they want to say something, I have to approve it first.
That's smart.
But yeah, but you know, but on Instagram, I guess you have to just block people. And
yeah, on Instagram, I get personally a lot more positive than negative. So like it wouldn't make sense for me to not allow comments because,
right.
And it's not, and I don't want it to, like, I want it to be a platform for people. So it's my job to keep it safe for my followers. I'll block them, but I'll still, yeah.
Yeah. And you've got you have like 100 something thousand followers, and you'll put one post on and you'll get like 6,000 likes or comment. I mean, how could you possibly keep track of that? How could you, all those comments, if you have 2 negative comments and then you've got, 5,000 people that all like your post, like, are you supposed to worry about those 2 people?
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
But I do. I mean, I block them anyway, just so they don't come back.
Yeah.
There are some people I know who just like, they don't even follow me, but they just wait for my post. They must check the page like manually, and they'll just open their mouths to say something negative.
Yeah.
Those people.
Yeah. And another issue with people with autism is they can become very obsessive about people. And I had a couple people that very, obsessively follow me and want to, talk to me, but then have had angry, nasty outbursts toward other people following me, and I've had to block them, and they're on the spectrum, so it's like, there's a balance. It's like, you want to be nice, but if you're going to be nasty, you're going to get blocked. It's not okay. Autism is not, I think you say that autism is not an excuse, to be nasty or for bad behavior.
Exactly. Yeah. Never.
How long you've been doing this? For like 6 years, the blogging?
Yeah. 5, I would say. Yeah.
5 years.
5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And then do you do anything to get followers, or it just happens naturally? It's just organic.
What happened? I mean, hashtags,
And that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Because when I did my YouTube channel, I didn't do anything to, people just found it because they were Googling autism and they would find it. But since I've stopped, people like you and other people have picked up, and you're not so much YouTube, you're more like bloggers and Instagram and that kind of stuff. And I'm really surprised to see how many people are out there following all these blogs and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, because there are so many kids getting diagnosed, so people are out there looking for information and stuff, support.
Yeah, so I'm just back in the loop now just because of the books. So I'm trying to get word out about the books. That's all. Because I'm like I said, I'm concerned about the bullying, and I want kids like Charlie going into public school. I want other kids to understand him.
That's a good mission.
So anyway, okay. How's your relationship between your 2 boys?
It's sad sometimes for Jude, because he's the opposite of Charlie, is that he always wants to talk and play and be with people. And especially now he's at the age where he's really understanding that Charlie is struggling a lot. And
is he in school?
Yeah, well, virtual. He started kindergarten last year, but it was virtual. And he's starting 1st grade for the first time.
Oh, so they both are starting together for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're in person, yeah. So that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, it's hard sometimes.
For me, Robbie was 5 years older than David. And so when David started kindergarten and he went to school and he made friends and he invited kids to come over and play, and Robbie was in the other room, and he's nonverbal. He didn't say words, but that doesn't mean he doesn't vocalize, so he made lots of noises. Oh, right. And he'd get excited and he'd jump and he'd bang, and make these noises. And his friend started to cry, and he called his mother to pick him up and bring him home. And David was so embarrassed and upset. For years, he would never have kids come over again.
Oh.
So, there's all different levels of things that you're going to have to deal with one-on-one.
Yeah.
But I had a friend that when she moved here to town years ago, she had a son with cerebral palsy, and she did a video of him and sent it to the school and had the school watch it. And it explained who her son was, what cerebral palsy was, and all this. And the kids, so by the time he arrived to school, he was like a rock star. and all the kids knew who he was.
That's
They
so
all wanted to
sweet.
be his friend. I just thought it was brilliant. And so that was my idea with the books, you know.
That's
So
nice.
I should send you a set and take it to school and have the teachers read it so that when your son starts school, the kids will understand him. You know,
That's
that's
nice.
sort of the I didn't realize that he had not been in school yet. And he's
Mhm.
going to go to public school, or he's going to go to like a special ed school?
Yeah, it's public, so
Public.
we'll see.
Okay. Okay. And then is he going to have an aide, or you don't know because you don't have an
Yeah,
IEP yet?
we don't know yet. That's kind of where we're at right now.
And what grade
Yeah.
is he going to start?
Third.
Oh, he's going to go right into third. Okay.
Yeah, we're just starting it at grade level. I mean, you know, he doesn't know how to read.
I hear it.
Yeah, here he is.
I know that sound very well.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, the screaming too, like that's something that startles, well, first of all, me, but you know, people look, you know, it's natural.
Sure.
So like at school, if he starts doing this, it's just gonna be like really, you know, it's not like an 8-year-old telling you that he wants something. It's really like full on screaming. So yeah, that's another thing that's really difficult, the screaming.
Yeah. Are there any other autistic kids at the school?
Not that I know of, but maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's not going to be in a contained classroom. He's going to be right
Oh,
in
no,
the
he's
class
not.
with other kids.
No, I mean there might be, you know, others. I function. I don't know yet, but it's definitely not a special need classroom.
Can he
is gonna
read?
be- Oh no, not at all. He doesn't know. He's, you know, he can recognize colors and some numbers, but that's it. You know.
Hmm.
So it's I don't know how that's gonna go. If they're gonna want him to like go to kindergarten. I don't know how that works. You know, honestly, like I'm learning, and I just want him to experience school, even if he's not gonna learn what the other kids are doing, just, you know, to be able to sit there and who knows what he's taking in, even if he can't express it. That's also like one of my thing. I'm like, we don't know because he can't tell us. Maybe
Right.
he's learning it and he can't put it on paper, you know?
Right.
So we'll see.
Do you know about the rapid prompting method, or the RPM?
Yeah, that's like not science based. It's been like proven to be like, because the
Facilitated, yeah.
Yeah, it can you know, influence. I mean, basically it's kind of like a Ouija board in a way, you know, where you, so I'm not into that, but some people type by their own. They're like, you know, they can type independently, and I think that's wonderful. We're trying to teach Charlie typing, but like it's been months and he can't type his own name yet. So obviously not all kids on the spectrum can learn to type, but who knows, maybe one day he'll be able to. Like, I would love that.
Okay, well, it's going to be very interesting. When do you have a first meeting?
With the school?
Yeah, you have to have an IEP meeting before he starts, no?
It's not gonna happen before he starts. That's the thing.
It's not. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
Has
thinking.
the school evaluated him?
Not yet. So we're just like winging. We're waiting. Like, it was supposed to happen this week and it did not. So they said that they're gonna do their best to accommodate the first few weeks without knowing him, basically. And I'm like, you know, he's severe. He has high support needs. Like, I don't know if you know what you're getting into.
And they haven't even seen him?
No, they haven't even seen him yet.
Oh boy.
I mean, I send them all the, you know, the paperwork from his therapy center and all of that. So they have an idea of, you know, who he is, but they haven't actually seen him.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
This is good. You're going to have a lot to write about.
Yeah, I think so. I was really hoping that we could have the evaluation before the school starts, but since it starts next Tuesday, it's not going to happen. I mean, it's the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, because a friend of mine teaches in Texas, and I think they started school. I thought she said they started this week. Maybe it's next week that they start.
It's different by county. Yeah.
Yeah, she's Fort Worth. She's in Fort Worth.
Oh yeah. I'm in Austin. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I sent her a set of the books for her school. So
Nice.
yeah. Sometimes I want to ask the moms, you know, what do you think the future holds? But he's so young, you have no idea. I mean, he's just starting school. So what would you hope to see when he's in school this year? What would you like to see happen? Like, are you still hoping that he'll start talking one day?
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever lose hope. I mean, maybe when he's like 18, but, and you know, I'm not so focused on like the actual talking anymore, more about him finding a way to communicate. Like I was saying, if it's typing,
Mm-hmm.
that's great. I just want him to be able to communicate beyond those basic needs, like I want iPad or whatever,
Right.
because I want to know what's in his head.
Right.
Yeah.
The only reason why I asked about the RPM, because I've talked to like 4 or 5 moms that all started using the RPM, and the things that their sons all started talking about would blow your mind. And they thought that they didn't understand anything that they were saying. And then all of a sudden to be typing at these things, well, not that they were typing, but, tapping, was kind of crazy. And it seemed to just open up this whole other world of communication. And it made me really think about my son and say, I wonder if he really did know what I was, everything I was saying. And he just didn't let on, I don't know. I think that's the biggest battle, is trying to figure out what's going on inside that head.
Definitely. Yeah.
You just have to use your mom's intuition a lot.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
And you probably have no idea how he feels about starting school.
No idea whatsoever. He doesn't know. I mean, we told him, but I don't think he has any idea what school even is,
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like, what does it mean to him, since he's never been?
Yeah.
Does
he watch TV videos, anything like that?
Yeah, but he watches the same
ones, right?
Yeah, over and over.
Yeah. What does he like?
Like weird candy videos of like candy falling out of candy machines, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Trains. Yeah.
I know. I saw your post that it was his birthday, and you said he doesn't even know it's his birthday. That would have been my son too. He had no idea. No, he didn't even know what that was. And he was annoyed that we would make him try to blow out candles or open a gift. It's like, why are you making me do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely more for us than for him, the birthday now.
Yeah. Yeah. And Robbie didn't like holidays, and they were an annoyance to him,
Same here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I totally get it. So does he run away at all? Does he elope?
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Fun one.
Yeah.
It was one street over once. It's really scary, in a back alley. That was like 4 years ago. It's terrifying. And one time he ran away downtown, like right in front of me, and he was faster than me, and it was just like crossing traffic, and like people were just watching and not stopping him. And it was just like, grab him, like, I'm telling you, you can, like, it's okay, like, don't you see,
he's not going to stop if you call his name, and they don't understand danger.
No,
I don't understand. Oh, if you run in the street, you're going to get hit by a car.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. We had Robbie run away quite a few times. We had to call the police to go find him.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. It's in my stories. Yeah. It's a couple of stories about that. And we had neighbors on both sides of us that had pools. So usually he was trying to get to the pool.
It's so scary.
And I will tell you, at Robbie's school, when he was young, one of his classmates, a couple of years older than him, ran away and drowned. And they planted a tree in his memory, and that scared the daylights out of me. So anytime he ran away, I was always afraid, because I knew how much he loves water. So his school used to take the kids to the Y for swim lessons. And then when they built a new school, they put 2 pools in there and teach swim lessons as part of their curriculum to make sure that the kids learn how to swim. Yeah, so I always tell parents it's really important, make sure they learn how to swim, because if they run away, a lot of times they're going to end up in the water somewhere, a river, the ocean, whatever, somebody's pool.
It's really sad how many autistic kids die from drowning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So it could be scary. I interviewed another mom that her son likes to run away naked.
Charlie likes that too.
Yeah. So yeah, they found him in the neighbor's pool swimming naked, and yeah, there's
At least he can swim. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he can swim. So, okay, Eileen, I appreciate you taking time out. I hear the boys in the background, so
thanks for having me. Yeah.
For taking you away from dinner time and bedtime and all that kind of stuff. So
Kids getting wild.
I'll let you go. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Okay, have a good weekend. Bye-bye. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed listening and it helped you gain a new perspective. To see the video version of the show, go to our YouTube channel, Robbie and Me, Autism Reality. If you're interested in buying our book series, Robbie's World and his spectrum of adventures, the link will be in our episode description, as well as my Instagram and Facebook pages. If you enjoyed the show and you'd like more content, please be sure to hit that like button, follow us, and don't forget to leave us a great review. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to join us again on our next episode of Spectrum Perspectives.
Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to join us again on our next episode of Spectrum Perspectives.